man, it's going to be a great show. It's going to be great. The reason I'm talking like this is because our buddy Jason Johnson here, right here on the graphic, he is starring as a Texas Ranger in Walker.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. That's good.
Our buddy Jason Johnson does not talk like that.
He does not.
Although he is from Texas.
He is from Texas.
So that's awesome.
Really good, humble guy. Like, literally, just now, an up-and-comer. Like, started acting during COVID.
Yeah.
That is insane.
I mean, wait till you hear this guy's story, y'all. It is so inspiring, man.
Yeah, he really is an amazing guy. Can't wait for you guys to hear the interview. Well, that's a little bit later on the show. Now, let's get a little crazy. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Crazy Ant Farm. Holy moly, we're on episode 152 this week.
152.
Woo, boy.
We are rolling.
Wild. Yeah, man. It's crazy.
Ooh, a special Saturday edition.
Yes.
I mean, J-Lo's feeling much better.
I am.
He's feeling much better, and we love you guys for understanding why we didn't drop last night, but we're thrilled to be bringing it.
Exactly. Just a weekly edition. That's what it is. This is your weekly meditation podcast for you to listen to and to get caught up with everything that's happening in Hollywood.
That's right. And boy, there's a lot happening in Hollywood this week.
There is. It's been a busy couple weeks.
It has been. And this time, though, Paramount got all the love last week, so Netflix and Disney were like, whoa, wait a minute.
Hold on. Chill.
We've got some stuff. Even Sony had more than one story this week. What?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I know, right? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Well, you guys know your host with the most, myself, J-Lo Fantastic, and the one and only Mal.
What's up?
And, of course, you know there might be a special sneak peek of the one and only Peanut the Puppy. He is just chilling, loving life, loving doing the show with us.
AKA Boss Man.
Exactly. That's why you guys need to watch the YouTube videos so you can see the appearance of the one and only Peanut.
That's right.
Oh, man. But like you said, we got a lot to talk about in industry news. A lot of Disney stuff, a lot of Netflix stuff. Comic-Con finally came out and made a decision about this upcoming year's event.
Nerds will not be happy.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. And just a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm sure everybody has watched the last episode of WandaVision.
What?
We'll be talking a little bit about that. Talking a little bit about that. But before we get this thing started, you guys know to be sure to head over to our website, www.crazyantmedia.com, where you can start rocking the latest and greatest Crazy Ant Media gear.
It's true.
We got shirts, we got hats, we got sweatshirts, tank tops, bags, all the good stuff, tumblers, coffee mugs. It's so freaking amazing, guys. And of course, be sure to head over to our website and donate to our Patreon page, because start showing the love to the guys that you love. Yeah. Yeah.
Now we're back to American Gigolo again.
Yes, we
fantastic.
are. Yes, we are. But
Gear and Bernthal.
Exactly.
Can we just get the two of them in a movie together?
Right.
I think that'd be fantastic.
It would be. It would be. Well, let's start off with San Diego Comic-Con, like we talked about. It's going to be doing the whole virtual thing again, like they did last year. I mean, because COVID is still super crazy, especially in California. So those 3 days are going to be from July 23rd through the 25th.
Yep.
And like we said, it's going to be completely virtual, and it is planning an in-person convention in San Diego to be held November of 2021. So hopefully... I mean, is that enough time, though? Is that enough time for things to clear up? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And you guys know, second year in a row that this is happening, right? Now, remember what happened last year, though. And all the nerds know, but for the non-nerds out there, this is usually Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con is like the big event for the studios to drop all their huge stuff, especially Marvel and Star Wars and like all Star Trek and like all the big, huge things, right? And as you guys know, last year, Warner Media said, well, we're not doing Comic-Con, so we're just going to do our own shit, DC Fandom, which was a huge success. And then Marvel did their stuff at DC 23 Expo. So the question is, with Comic-Con canceled again, could this start to be the end of Comic-Con? Will we just see the studios doing their own virtual thing, which was a huge success, and maybe that's how it's going to go forward?
Well, I think if COVID sticks around as long as people are thinking it's going to, I think it might be the end of Comic-Con the studios just doing their own thing, which is super unfortunate because that's a huge economic growth in San Diego, so it's super unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, but it is what it is. I mean, and that doesn't mean like necessarily though the end of the convention halls and meeting the stars and all that kind of stuff. Maybe the studios will just choose to do their own events as opposed to Comic-Con.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I don't know. This is by no surprise. We've been talking about this literally since we started the show almost 4 years ago. We've been talking about this. According to a recent report done by Ampere Analysis, streamers are doing better than broadcast channels. No Duh. They're making swifter and healthier recovery than their linear counterparts. Now, what we're talking about in this is green-lighting new shows, green-lighting new projects, bringing series to light, right? So apparently, the streamers' scripted commissioning activity in 2020 was quicker to return to the 2019 levels pre-COVID, and more significantly, the streamers have strongly increased their development deals, meaning green-lighting, bringing projects. They're up 38% in the latter part of 2020 versus 2019. Now, here's the crazy thing. Linear channels, broadcast channels, down 42% year to year.
Damn.
Woo! Now, obviously, that has a lot to do with the influx of new streamers, right? We've got Disney Plus, we've got HBO Max, rebranded CBS All Access, Paramount Plus, Peacock. All that is definitely playing into it. It's not just like Hulu and Netflix anymore, right? But still, that is not a good sign for broadcast television.
Well, especially when probably a lot of the people who watch their linear television shows can watch it the next day on streaming services, like whenever they want to, and not have to record the DVR or anything. So, yeah, I mean, it's getting closer and closer, man. It's getting closer and closer to everybody cutting the cord.
I think the only thing keeping linear television alive is sports, and even that we're seeing new deals. I mean, look, Amazon had huge success showing some of the sporting events. Even Nickelodeon. They showed a football game on Nickelodeon with animated graphics and shit, and it still went over well. Yeah. So, I don't know, man.
I know. But freaking heading over to Disney, the Mouse House, the juggernaut itself, you guys know it. We love it. Speaking at the Morgan Stanley Technology, Media, and Telecommunications Conference this week was the one and only Bob Chapek, and he reiterated that the company's commitment to theatrical releases, reminding viewers that Disney in 2019 released 11 films that earned at least $1 billion at the box office and overall, in which it will continue to be a big deal to the company. So they're sticking to the old ways, but he has acknowledged the uncertainty that is going on with COVID-19 and everything that's coming with it. Now that is ongoing, obviously, and like we've talked about, it's given few screens to currently open moviegoers' willingness to return to the theaters, and he says it's not sure there's going to be going back pre-pandemic theatrical windows. So they're talking about shortening the theatrical release dates from, when it's coming out on when it comes out in the theaters to when it's going to streamers. So, I mean, everybody's doing that. We talked a little bit about that last week, too.
And this is interesting. This is very interesting because Disney has made it very clear that they do not want to do it. So the fact that Chapek is beginning to waver, beginning to say, maybe we need to. You guys know they released Raya this weekend. They're doing their second attempt at it with the pay window and the premium access. We'll see how that works out for them. Hopefully better than Mulan did for them. But the fact that Chapek is wavering. And then we talked about this. This is going to be a power play, I'm telling you, because Feige is adamant about none of our Marvel movies are going on that shit.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. Speaking of Feige and Marvel, he's got to be just rolling in success. He's got to be as happy as a clam because apparently WandaVision, still the most popular show in the world. Why? Because Disney Plus suffered another shutdown, guys, at right around midnight Pacific time yesterday when the series finale of WandaVision hit. Again, because everybody flooded to go see it. The second time that it happened, so that makes total sense that this would be the issue. Disney, though, wanted to make sure that everybody knew it only affected about 2,300 users, so it wasn't a complete Disney Plus shutdown, but those 2,300 people were pretty pissed.
They were.
I mean, I'm guessing, right?
Logging on literally at the end of Thursday night and trying to watch it, they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
so, I mean, I would have been pissed.
I mean, me too, but it just goes to show you, man, there is no superhero fatigue. Chapek kind of addressed that, too, about would there or wouldn't there be. There is no superhero fatigue.
Doesn't seem
People
like it.
are just, rolling to get into this this stuff and wanting it. So, man.
I know, it's crazy. But as we told you last week, Kevin Feige said there is currently no plans for a second season of WandaVision. And this week, Anthony Mackie, who is Falcon, he confirmed that there has been no discussions on a second season of Falcon and the Winter Soldier as well. As the majority of the domestic movie theaters remain closed due to Corona, he is equally unaware of the theatrical prospects on his own Falcon character. So, or Captain America, as he may become. We don't know yet. We don't know yet. But apparently, right now, there's only season 1 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah. Which, I mean, this just seems to me like this is a no-brainer. It's going to get a second season. Because unless it does launch into a new Captain America movie, there's got to be more story. You're not going to wrap it up in 6 episodes.
Yeah.
So I just feel like maybe that's a second season coming. I don't know. We'll find out. One thing we do know for sure, and this is not good news for Marvel, but they made the right decision, and I think it's a smart one.
Yeah.
Rapper T.I., you guys know he's been in all the Ant-Man movies. He's part of Paul Rudd's little crew, right? Well, apparently not going to be returning for the 3rd installment of Ant-Man. T.I., whose offstage name, if you guys didn't know, is Clifford Joseph Harris Jr., and his wife, Tiny Harris, are apparently facing allegations of sexual abuse and drugging multiple women.
That's crazy.
What? 6 anonymous women have claimed that T.I. and Tiny abused them, with some describing instances of drugging, kidnapping, and raping them. T.I. and Tiny, of course, have denied all of the allegations in a statement through their lawyer. Disney says, however, that had nothing to do with the fact that they've removed him. He wasn't apparently going to be a part of the 3rd one anyway.
Yeah.
So now, does that mean Michael Pena and the rest of the gang are not going to be either? We don't know. We don't know what that. Why would they just get rid of one of the crew and not all 3? We don't know. So we'll keep our eyes on that. But yeah, it's just another one. If stuff like that comes out, I mean, you know, that's the Disney brand, and they can't have that.
No, you can't corrupt that. It doesn't matter who you are.
Nope.
Like, it does really not. But this is some very exciting news, guys. We're so super excited about this because we're huge Game of Thrones fans and For Life fans. So Indra Varma, who is the warden on For Life, I'm actually about to finish the first season today.
Yes.
I have one more episode, but she just got kicked out. But anyway, she is going to be in the upcoming Obi-Wan Kenobi series on Disney+. Now, details for her character are being kept well under wraps. You guys know how it goes with Marvel and Star Wars. But she joins the previously announced series lead, Ewan McGregor, which we all know he's coming back to play Obi-Wan when he played Obi-Wan in the Hayden Christensen films, way back in the early 2000s. So it's pretty freaking exciting. But speaking of Hayden, we also talked about how he's coming back to play the Darth Sith Lord himself, Darth Vader.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's going to be super freaking epic. And there's rumors going around right now that Obi-Wan's going to pop up in the Andor series as well. So that's going to be very interesting. Remember, Andor series is the one that takes place in the Rogue One timeline.
Yes.
So
that's interesting.
Who knows?
Yeah, and I'm a huge fan of Indira. I actually very first came across her with Human Target, Mark Valley's Human Target, when she came in on season 2, and I loved her on that, and I've been a fan of hers ever since, so that's exciting. Guys, this is pretty exciting, and yet we don't know if there's any going to be further news on this, but we're getting at least this news in. Reginald VelJohnson, you know him, you love him. Remember, he was the dad on Family Matters with Urkel way back in the day and everything. But Reginald VelJohnson, who co-starred in the 1989 film Turner and Hooch, is apparently going to be reprising his role in the new TV series for Disney+. That's
awesome.
He will be back as David Sutton in the upcoming series. Now, if you guys remember, in 1989, he was the partner of Tom Hanks' character. They were partners and with Hooch and everything. But apparently now he is going to be the mayor of the town, and he is going to be like close friends with Tom Hanks' character's kids, which is what the series is revolving around and everything. That's all great news. This is the first time we've heard that anybody from the original film is coming on to be a part of the series. The question is, will we see Tom Hanks?
Right?
He is beloved at Disney. He is a Disney guy. Right now, no word on whether Tom Hanks will or will not at least make an appearance. But how can you have a whole show about his kids and Dad doesn't make at least a cameo?
At least one time, like season finale. Come on, man. That'd be so freaking epic.
So, I mean, I don't know. Are you ready to bend it like Beckham?
Of course. I mean, always. David Beckham.
You're the soccer guy.
I know. He's in talks to front a TV show for Disney+, which he will mentor a team of young soccer players in London. Details are pretty sketchy right now, and it's not known who will produce the show. Though Beckham does have his own production company, Studio 99, he already has a deal with Netflix right now, which he's making a documentary about his life. So, I mean, I don't know if that's paperwork and everything, but it's going to be very interesting because everybody loves David Beckham.
Yeah, and everybody likes soccer. It's a world-renowned, famous sport. And
It's true.
I mean, just like, who doesn't want to see Beckham mentoring kids?
Exactly.
I mean, it seems like a win. This next one I'm extremely excited about and would have never thought this for casting. But that's why I'm not a casting director. Like, this is interesting, though. Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Yes, that Joseph Gordon-Levitt apparently is going to be Jiminy Cricket in the live-action Pinocchio.
It's pretty funny.
What? Jiminy Cricket? That's fantastic. And Harriet Tubman herself, Cynthia Erivo, is going to play Blue Fairy in Disney's live-action retelling. Of course, they're joining, like I said earlier, Tom Hanks, beloved Disney guy, who is playing Geppetto. And, I mean, this is going to be Evan. Luke Evans is the coachman. Benjamin Evan Ainsworth, who starred in Flora, is going to be Pinocchio. So, I mean, this is awesome. Keegan-Michael Key is the voice of Honest John. Lorraine Bracco is the voice of Sophia the Seagull, which is a brand new character. Wasn't even in the animated film. I just think this is great casting all the way around. Too. Joseph Gordon-Levitt has freaking Jiminy Cricket.
It's going to be so
It's
funny.
going to be good. It's going to be great.
I can't wait, man. I can't wait. Now, this one, I was so super thrilled to see this because Emmanuel Acho has been doing some amazing things with Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man on his YouTube channel. I'm sure everybody has seen that. Well, now, we've been talking about it the past couple of weeks, The Bachelor host being out, Chris Harrison being replaced after condemning, basically saying it was okay for the racist actions of one of the contestants. Well, now Emmanuel Acho is coming in for the season finale to host it and to have a conversation with the lead, Matt James, which is super freaking awesome. And he's also going to talk to the 3 finalists that are on The Bachelorette. So, super freaking epic, especially for inclusivity and diversity. This is a great move.
Yeah, this is an absolutely brilliant movie. They couldn't have picked a better guy to be the replace host. And, did you see that Harrison had a little interview with Strahan? And he apologized. And afterwards, Strahan basically said, yeah, I just feel like that was a superficial bullshit apology.
Yeah.
And I don't feel anything. I think,
Yeah.
He was not, I was like, don't hold back, Strahan.
Right.
Like, hit him with it, boy. So anyway, maybe Harrison ain't coming back. We'll see. We know who is coming back, though. Boy, they're casting a lot of people in this thing now. Emma Meisel from American Horror Story 1984 is going to be set as a series regular opposite Peyton Elizabeth Lee in Disney Plus's upcoming Doogie Kamahala MD series. Meisel is going to play Steph Denisco, Doogie's best friend as well as romantic advisor. Okay. Who has a penchant for making an entrance. Woohoo! That's not it, though. Ronnie Chiang, you guys know him from The Daily Show, right? He's also joining the cast. The comedian's booked a recurring guest starring role. He's going to play a heart surgeon putting young Doogie through the paces.
Ooh.
So they're starting to line up, man. They're starting to make announcements. We were wondering what's going on with Wonder Years, what's going on with Doogie, all these shows and everything. Well, now we're starting to find out who's going to be in them, so that's cool.
Exactly. Super epic, man. Alec Mappa, who is signed on to co-star alongside other Alec Baldwin, and Kelsey Grammer in an ABC multicam comedy series. And it's untitled right now, and it revolves around 3 men who were roommates in their 20s until their warring egos drove them apart. Now the trio reunites. We've talked about this one before. It's going to be super freaking epic, especially with that great of a cast. I can't wait.
See, we follow through on our promises. When we first reported this, we only had 2 people. We're like, who's going to play the third guy? We don't know, but we'll tell you when we know. Well, now you know.
Exactly.
Alec Mappa. That's who's going to play the third guy.
He's going to star as Andre, the third roommate of the old days in New York, a gay man who is highly empathetic nature is often called upon to keep the peace between the other two. So,
I can see Kelsey Grammer and Alec Baldwin
getting at it, yeah.
That's going to be great. All right, that's not all the casting news, though. Apparently, Kevin Costner's not done loading up his show.
No.
Nope. Ashley Sharp Chestnut from Cruel Summer and Blue Hunt from The New Mutants are set as series regulars opposite Billy Campbell, Angel Parker, and Gerardo Carrasco in Kevin Costner's national parks.
Yes.
We've been talking about this one a lot lately. You guys know it's co-written and executive produced by Kevin Costner. Chestnut is going to play Penny Stanton, a rookie ISB special agent eager to take on any challenge and prove herself capable in both physical and mental prowess. Ooh. Hunt is going to portray Noor Yazzie, which makes sense because it's a fun-loving national park ranger. Is it Yogi Bear? Like, what the fuck?
Right.
Who assists the ISB in their investigations. Hey, boo-boo. He's going to help them figure out who's stealing the fucking picnic lunches.
There you
I
go.
mean, come on.
I mean, that one's racking up a good cast.
It
too,
is really
so-
good. I'm just kidding. I think it's going to be really good. And yeah, it is racking up a great cast.
Right. All right, guys, bear with me. Sekong Sengbol is the first cast member confirmed for the Wonder Years reboot at the pilot at ABC. What you go for it?
No, I'm glad you got that one. I'll go with Sekon Sengblo.
Yeah, I see.
Sekon Sengblo?
There it is.
I don't know. She played the mom.
Yes, there it is. She's gonna star as the Monarch, Lillian Williams, sharp as tack, and Lillian is a confident, kind, perceptive, and has a good sense of humor. She knows exactly the right thing to say to convince you of anything. As a mother, wife, and full-time accountant. Oh shit.
Oh.
She's organized, efficient, and hardworking, but she always puts her family first. So that's the character she's gonna play.
So we've got mom. Now we need dad, the siblings, but we're building the Wonder Years cast.
We are.
We're gonna find out. I think Fred Savage is gonna at least make a cameo.
Yeah.
We don't know, but how is that? Yeah, he's grown. I don't know. Anyway, hey, have you heard that movie Tom and Jerry? There's a guy behind it called Mr. Tim Story.
Yes.
You might know him. He's done a couple of Fantastic Four movies and
Just
stuff.
a few.
He's kind of a famous guy. Anyway, he's got the #1 movie, Tom and Jerry, but he's not done. Apparently, ABC loves him, and they want him to direct Queens. Now, this is the one that we've been telling you about Nasty Bitches.
Yes.
The rap group that comes back after all these years off and trying to reclaim their fame. Well, Tim Story is signed on to direct the pilot for this, which I think is a brilliant choice. I think this is going to be absolutely fantastic.
Hell yeah.
And why is it a good choice? Because did you guys know this? Tim Story is apparently the first black director whose films have grossed more than $1 billion at the box office.
Nice. Had no idea.
So there you go. I mean, let's pick a guy who's successful and get this done.
Exactly.
I love the idea and the premise behind this show. I think it's going to be hilarious. And so great job. I'm super stoked that Story's going to be doing it.
Agreed. Jonathan Bennett will be returning to Station 19 on April 1st, first episode, and No One Is Alone. He will reprise his role of the buddy-loving Michael, Travis Montgomery's late husband, who died tragically in the line of duty as a firefighter before Travis joined the station.
Oh, so will this be flashbacks? Will
He'd
he
be like a ghost? Will it be like how Patrick Dempsey's going with Grays? Like, very interesting.
Very interesting. Hulu. Talk about very interesting. Hulu is not scared to take chances, guys, and they're going again. Hulu's greenlit production on Sex Appeal. You got to say it like that, too. You have to. Sex Appeal is a teen comedy about the not-so-exact science of love. The series will star Micah Abdallah from Project Mick 2 and Jake Short from All Night. Sex Appeal centers on high schooler. Yes, I said high schooler. That's correct. Avery Hansen White, a perfectionist at least by her own standards, when her long-distance boyfriend hints at wanting to take their relationship to the next level, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, at the upcoming STEM conference, otherwise known as Nerd Prom, she sets out to master her sexuality. As she begins to study the mechanics of love, she realizes that relationships require less science and more heart.
Oh. All right.
Oh.
Interesting.
Well, that's going to be fun, isn't it?
Yeah, right? All right. Hulu also has a series on right now about teachers sleeping with their students.
Yeah.
Hulu's doing some things.
Doing
some things.
They enter into freak world.
Yeah, they really are. But some exciting things in which it's crazy it's ever been on this long. The Simpsons has been renewed for 2 more seasons, 33 and 34 at Fox. That's crazy. They keep having the relevant content.
Yeah.
At the conclusion of season 34, slated in 2023, the iconic animated sitcom will have produced 757 total episodes. The landmark 700 700th episode, Manger Things, will air March 21st. The Simpsons is the longest-running primetime scripted show in television history, and it surpassed Gunsmoke during its 29th season.
That is insane.
I know.
That is absolutely insane that it has been on that long.
Right?
Like, literally,
Kudos to them.
yeah, man. Yeah. And so it only makes sense that they would want to put more shows on that, or they hope can capitalize on that, right? Well, Fox announced season 2 of the animated comedy Duncanville. It's going to premiere with 2 back-to-back episodes on May 23rd at 8. And its new animated comedy Housebroken is going to premiere on May 31st at 9 p.m. So, like I said, trying to capitalize on the animation game, right?
Yeah.
Duncanville's return will feature an unofficial Parks and Recreation reunion when Adam Scott, Aubrey Plaza, Retta, and Nick Offerman make guest voice appearances.
Nice.
Oh, that's really cool. Alongside series regulars Amy Poehler and Rashida Jones.
Very nice.
And if you guys don't know, if you haven't watched it, season 1, Duncanville centers on a 15-year-old Duncan Harris who survives the trivial nature of teenagehood through his wild imagination. Interesting. Okay. Housebroken, meanwhile, follows a group of neighborhood pets and stray animals as they work through their issues inside and outside their therapy group. Pets in therapy. All right, I'm already thinking that's going to be good. Tony Hale, Lucia Kudrow, Will Forte, Jason Mazakis, Sam Richardson, Clea Duvall. Wow, another outstanding cast.
Right.
So there you go. I mean, that's going to be funny as hell.
Yeah, you keep getting huge cast members for animated series. It's going over great, man. It's going over freaking
it's gotta
great.
be. And if Lisa Kudrow doesn't play a cat, epic fail.
Epic freaking fail. And a smelly one
A
at that.
smelly cat. It's gotta happen.
Exactly. Thomas Brody Sangster
There you go.
from Queen's Gambit and Tallulah Riley from Westworld have joined the cast of Danny Boyle's FX series Pistol. You know, this is the 6-episode limited series about the Sex Pistols guitarist Steve Jones, based on his memoir Lonely Boys: The Tale of a Sex Pistol. And it's due to air in 2022 on FX and on Hulu.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
Stay tuned for that, guys.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, this next one I think is like perfect. It's the Viola Davis as Michelle Obama perfect casting type, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Impeachment, American Crime Story has found who's going to play Hillary Clinton, and it's Edie Falco. Yes, Sopranos Edie Falco. I mean,
See that.
how awesome is that? She's the latest high-profile star to join the series, which will detail the events surrounding the impeachment of Billy Boy, Bill Clinton. It was previously announced that Beanie Feinstein will play Monica Lewinsky, and Clive Owen as Bill Clinton, Sarah Paulson as Linda Tripp, Margot Martindale as Lucian Goldberg, and Analia Ashford as Paula Jones. That is going to be an epic cast.
Right, I can definitely see fucking Sarah Paulson as Linda Tripp.
Oh, yeah, without...
Gonna be so freaking good.
And I'm just a huge fan of Margot Martindale.
Yeah.
Everything that she is in is just brilliant. Most recently, the freaking Your Honor on show. Just so good. I love her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't wait. Poise will end with its 3rd season at FX. The groundbreaking series was renewed for the 3rd season back in 2019. The 7-episode finale is now set for May 2nd at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. The 2 episodes airing that night. The series finale is going to be on June 6th. So mark your calendars if you are a fan of Poise.
Yeah, kind of shocked this one's going. It's always getting it's critically acclaimed and gets a lot of attention, so I'm kind of shocked. But it makes sense because I feel like everybody involved with that show's been moving on to different projects. So I guess that makes sense. Talk about moving on. We're going from the mouse to the bunny because we like to do that. This one surprised me. I'm like, I get that New York theaters are opening back up and everything, but this one still came as a surprise to me. Warner Brothers has apparently decided to re-release Tenet, Christopher Nolan's Tenet, in 5 New York City movie theaters, and they released it yesterday on Friday. So that's interesting. Comes nearly 6 months after Tenet was originally released. And remember, that was supposed to be the big movie to bring the box office back after COVID, and it didn't happen. No, didn't happen. But so interesting. Apparently, guys, if you're anywhere in the New York area and you want to see it, it's playing at AMC Lincoln Square, AMC Empire, AMC Kips Bay, Village East by Angelica in 70mm, and in Showcase Cinemas Jamaica. The film will also open on IMAX next weekend at AMC Lincoln Square. So there you go.
My theory for that is I think they want to have this qualify for the Oscars.
And they're trying to get it.
Yeah, and because Christopher Nolan gave them so much heat about the fucking same-day releases for theatrical releases.
Yes.
So I think that's what they're trying to do here.
Yeah, trying to appease him.
Yeah.
Because he's walking.
Yeah.
You know he's leaving there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, Of course, of course. The CW has announced the renewal of the most recent Arrowverse spinoff, Superman and Lois. Season 2 has gotten its green light, was announced the following show's major premiere, primetime numbers last Tuesday. It lifted the network to its most watched night in over 2 years, scored the best one-day streaming digits for a new show on the CW, and the episode drew 3.25 million total viewers and up to 80% from the live same day, according to the Nielsen ratings.
Yep.
And also making it the most streamed premiere in network history with Superman and Lois. The CW has now renewed 13 series for all the 2021-2022 season, including Walker, All-American, Batwoman, Charm, DC's Legends of Tomorrow, Dynasty, The Flash, In the Dark, Legacies, Nancy Drew, Riverdale, and Roswell, New Mexico.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah. So have you noticed that most of those renewed shows are Arrowverse shows? Just saying. Side note on that, they apparently watched WandaVision, and the Arrowverse universe wants more money to make their shows look more like Disney Marvel shows.
Yeah.
Just saying. We saw that. That's a side note. That's pretty funny. This makes sense, though. So out of the gate with all the huge success of Superman and Lois, right? This would totally make sense. Beginning with episode 2, each episode of Superman and Lois's first season is going to feature additional footage or scenes that weren't in the broadcast showing of it. And when they come on to the CW app or CW TV, that's where you're going to be able to watch the extended cuts of every episode. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It also noted that the additional footage included in each of the extended episodes will vary, and after the finale, the entire first season of Superman and Lois's extended cut episodes will be available on the CW app and CW TV for free. Or you don't even have to log in. You don't even have to have an account for 30 days prior to the start of the recently renewed season 2.
That's awesome, man.
That's pretty
Everybody's
badass.
loving it. But, I mean, it's not all good news for Superman and Lois, though, because the series, I mean, is being temporarily impacted by COVID-19. The show will take a break after its 5th episode and will return with new episodes to finish up season 1 May 18th. Meanwhile, Supergirl, the premiere of its 6th and final season on Tuesday, March 30th, is in that same time slot, so that's going to be replacing it a little bit.
Yeah.
But it does suck. It does suck.
It does, because look, guys, I'm just going to say it. I was so wrong. I'm loving this show. I just admitted to J-Lo earlier, I think this might be my favorite version of Superman since Christopher Reeves. I was so wrong. I was so wrong. I can admit it. I was wrong. Exactly. I loved it. They're doing a kick-ass job on that show. Speaking of kick-ass jobs, you know this is going to be epic. HBO Documentary Films and Academy Award winner Spike Lee are currently in production on NYC Epicenter's 9/11 2021 and a half. A film that will chronicle the life, loss, and survival of New York City residents over the 20 years since the terrorist attacks on the World Trade Center complex. The multi-part documentary event will offer an unprecedented, sweeping portrait of New Yorkers as they rebuild and rebound from the devastating terrorist attack and the ongoing global pandemic. The logline for this thing reads, "The film will feature both visual imagery and first-hand accounts from citizens. It will debut later this year on HBO and then will be available on HBO Max." That sounds amazing, and if there's ever a guy to tell a New York story, it's fucking Spike Lee.
Oh, of course.
That guy is New York. I mean, so it's going to be awesome, man.
Agreed. Antoine Fuqua's The Day the Sport Stood Still, a documentary about the unprecedented sports shutdown in March of 2020, will debut March 24th on HBO Sports, which I'm guessing will probably be on HBO Max as well.
Yep.
The film centers around the NBA All-Star players and NBA Players Association president Chris Paul, who is an executive producer on the project. At the time, he played point guard for Oklahoma City Thunder, and when he was going up against the Utah Jazz on March 11th of 2020, when the game was suddenly stopped, and everybody's going to tell their story. They're going to relive his journey over the past year, reflecting on living in quarantine, his crucial role in helping out the NBA reopen, and what it was like playing in the bubble. And I'm betting because all of the George Floyd stuff happened in the midst of while everybody was playing in the bubble in the playoffs. They actually did, in protest, take a night off. All the teams did not play. They did not come to the courts and play their playoff game. So I'm betting they're going to be talking about that as well.
Oh, yeah. No doubt, no doubt. I'm loving all the documentaries.
Yeah.
And all these documentaries that are sparking conversations that need to be had.
Exactly.
So I love this. Good kudos to everybody that's doing it out there. Iona Sky has joined HBO Max's series Made for Love in a guest star role. The dark comedy series follows Hazel Green, a 30-something-year-old woman, on the run after 10 years in a suffocating marriage to Byron Gogol, a controlling tech billionaire. Soon she discovers that her husband has implanted a monitoring device. What the fuck? The made-for-love chip in her brain, allowing him to track her, watch her, and know her emotional data as she tries to regain independence.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and even through the chip, Byron's able to watch Hazel's every move as she flees to her desert hometown to take refuge with her aging widower father. Ray Romano is going to play the father. That's going to be epic. And his synthetic partner, Diane. Ray Romano going to have a synthetic partner, y'all. Okay. Sky will appear in the role of Lottie, Hazel's mother, who has passed away from cancer when Hazel was 12.
Damn, that premise is deep and intense. Like,
I mean,
wow.
Seriously, that is like, what?
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Okay.
Yeah, on to the next one. Gugu Mathura from The Morning Show and David Oilo from Selma will lead HBO Max and BBC's one psychological thriller series, The Girl Before. The four-parter, created and written by, executive produced by J.P. Dinley, is based on his best-selling novel of the same name, The Girl Before. And it follows Jane, who moves into a beautiful, ultra-minimalist house designed for engaging architect. So there's just one catch though. Occupants have to abide by his list of exact rules. Jane starts to feel that the house is changing in ways that she is unexpecting, but when she makes a shocking discovery that her predecessor Emma died in the house, so she's forced to confront the unnerving similarities.
Again, another like really like out there premise, but
I know.
It sounds good. At least there's the original.
It's original
They're
content.
originals. Yeah, I'm loving it. Speaking of Doogie, right? The original Doogie in the house. We don't know if he's going to make an appearance on the new Doogie, but we do know that he's signed on the cast of 8-Bit Christmas. That's a new comedy movie coming from New Line in the works at HBO Max. It also stars Winslow Fegley, June Diane Raphael, and Steve Zahn. And this sounds interesting. The film's an adaptation from a debut novel by author Kevin, and it's described as a heartfelt and humorous look at childhood misadventures. The movie is set in suburban Chicago during the 80s. Which all the best movies are. I'm just saying, Breakfast Club, you know what I'm saying? And it follows 10-year-old boy named Jake Doyle as his epic quest to find the best video game system. Harris plays the adult Jake and serves as the movie's narrator, while Fegley will play young Jake with June Diane Raphael and Steve Zahn playing his parents.
Nice.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, that sounds
that's
very
gonna be
entertaining.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, this year's SAG Awards are being pre-taped, including the winner reveals, and to be limited to just an hour-long runtime, which is crazy. Because,
Wow.
I mean, freaking, you guys know these award shows can go on for 3 hours plus.
Yeah.
The show, which airs Sunday, April 4th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time on TNT and TBS, won't have a host, a red carpet, or even a set. Instead, the show will include comedy bits mixed with SAG Awards signature I Am an Actor mini speeches from performers. Those will be sprinkled throughout the hour, along with the winner announcements with 13 categories and the In Memoriam segment. So that's just very weird.
That is going to be, yeah, that's going to be, and watch it. If it's at all high in the ratings, all the other award shows are going to follow suit.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I guarantee you, because we've got some news coming up about the Golden Globes. It did not fare well, y'all. Wait until you hear that.
It did not.
Oh, man. This is exciting. So I guess Paramount is feeling pretty comfortable with the vaccine coming out and everything kind of reopening a little bit, and we're seeing a lot of progress from the Biden administration. I guess Paramount's feeling pretty comfortable because they've pushed up. That's right, I didn't say pushed back. They've pushed up the release of A Quiet Place 2 by several months, moving it from September up to May 28th. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Paramount also announced that Mark Wahlberg's action thriller Infinite, it was bumped back to September. So they're just swapping. They're like,
basically.
sorry, Mark, but we're going with Quiet Place, which makes sense because A Quiet Place should have come out like ages ago. So.
Way before.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be like one of the movies that came out during the pandemic.
Exactly. Super excited about that.
Yeah, man, this next one, I mean, it's racking in like a huge freaking cast.
Yeah.
Hugh Grant has been the latest to be cast. He's going to be a villain in Paramount's upcoming Dungeons and Dragons film adaptation. Grant will play the main antagonist of the film. Sophia Lillis, known for her work on Uncle Frank and the It films, and Netflix's I Am Not Okay With This, has joined the project as well. Grant and Lillis have joined already star-studded cast, including Chris Pine, Michelle Rodriguez, Justice Smith, Raji Jean Page, and so many others.
That's huge.
I know.
That is a huge cast. I mean, whew. Okay. Speaking of huge casts that continue to grow, I'm super excited about this one too, because we all know if it's anything like La La Land, it's going to be epic. Jovan Adepo is set to join Margot Robbie and Brad Pitt in Paramount's movie Babylon. You guys know that's from La La Land's Damien Chazelle.
Yes.
You guys remember this film is an ensemble pick set in the late 1920s, and it's unknown right now who Adepo is going to be playing. We do know now also that the film is set to premiere on Christmas of 2022, which plans for a full onward season push for the awards. That makes total sense because this, if anything, screams award like type movie. This is it.
Agreed. Fear of the Walking Dead co-executive producer, Kalinda Vaquez is writing an original Star Trek movie for Paramount Pictures with J.J. Abrams and Bad Robot producing. Should the film get a green light, Vaquez will be the first woman ever to pin a Star Trek movie. So that's fucking epic. That's absolutely wild. And of course, it's still under development under Paramount because everything is under one roof now.
Yes, it is. And boy, they released the full list of it. And it's just Star Trek 1, 2, and 3 aren't available yet, but everything else is. From Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home, through everything. Everything is on there now, Star Trek. I don't know what the deal is with the first three.
I know.
Get them on there. The Wrath of Khan is the best one. What the fuck? Anyway, Emmy and Tony winner Mandy Patinkin. I'm so fucking super like, what was he going to do after Homeland? Would he show up on the revival of Criminal Minds?
Right.
No. But what was he going to do after Homeland? Well, now we know, and he's joining one of my favorite fucking shows, so I'm super excited about this. He's joining Paramount Plus's The Good Fight. If you guys don't know what this is, that was the spin-off from The Good Wife, and Christine Baranski is in it. It's Cush Jumbo. So fucking good. It's such a great show. He signed on for a 1-year deal, and it sounds really interesting. He's going to play Hal Wagner. Don't criticize the name.
Yeah, right.
Don't criticize the name.
Okay.
He's a layman with no legal training who spontaneously decides to open up a court in the back of his copy shop. Against all the odds, the court catches on, and the team at Reddick, Bozeman, and Lockhart find themselves contending with the judgments that this guy is making, nothing legally binding, but are being honored by the public.
All right.
What?
Right.
So, yeah, this sounds... And Mandy is just like a fucking awesome actor. If you guys watch him in Homeland, you know he's like awesome. So, him going head-to-head with Christina Baranski is going to be epic.
Yeah, that one's going to be good. CBS has given out a pilot order for Sarah Cooper's untitled single-camera comedy project inspired by her book, How to Be Successful Without Hurting Men's Feelings. It follows 3 women in different stages of their careers at a male-dominated company who help each other navigate modern gender politics in their professional and personal lives. Cooper will serve as co-writer and executive producer. Cooper shot to frame on a TikTok when her lip sync impressions of Donald Trump went completely viral.
Yeah,
so.
If you haven't seen those, they're fucking hilarious. She did a great job with those, so it makes sense that she got a deal. That's awesome. Okay, more award shows. Speaking of, CBS and the Television Academy have announced that this year's Emmys will air live, not pre-taped like the SAG Awards, but they're going to air live on Sunday, September 19th. This is interesting. Ceremony is going to air on CBS as well as the on-demand with Paramount Plus. The hosts, producers, and venue for the Emmys still haven't been announced. They're going to do that at a later date. The Television Academy also still has to decide how to handle this year's Creative Arts Emmy Awards. You know, they normally don't do that on the main broadcast, right? So they're still trying to figure out whether they're going to do that over multiple nights like last year or return to the previous setup where it takes place over a couple of nights before the actual ceremony. So We'll find out, but
Yeah, that one's gonna be interesting. Man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting.
please do Elizabeth Olsen, nominate her for a fucking Emmy.
Right.
If you haven't watched WandaVision, she so fucking deserves an Emmy nomination.
All right, come on now.
All right.
Come on now. The latest in the First Lady casting, amazing casting, I should say, Dakota Fanning has signed on to play Susan Ford in the Showtime anthology series. Everybody knows Susan is the only daughter of Betty Ford and President Gerald Ford, and she's going to be played in the series by Michelle Pfeiffer and Aaron Eckhart, respectively. So it's going to be very interesting. Susan was a teenager during her father's time in the White House and is said to be had an often introduced progressive ideas to her family. Fanning will be a series regular, appearing in 6 episodes. The role reunites her and Pfeiffer, with whom she starred in the 2001 film I Am Sam.
Yeah, they were fantastic in that film together. And yeah, boy, this cast is just getting better and better.
It's crazy.
And better. It's like freaking insane.
I can only imagine the budget.
Right? Right? I mean, it's going to be huge, but they got that money.
Yeah,
they got
right?
that money. They're doing all right. Okay, speaking of more casting, this one sounds pretty good too. Jeff Stoltz, you love him from Little Fires Everywhere. Newcomer Jules Latimer, Taya Shakar, Alania Ubach, Laurie Davidson, and Andre Highland are set as series regulars opposite Miss Kate Beckinsale in Guilty Party, Paramount Plus's half-hour dark comedy from Funny or Die. We talked about this one a little bit. Guilty Party stars Beckinsale as Beth Baker, a discredited journalist desperate to salvage her career by latching on to the story of a young mother sentenced to life in prison for maiming and murdering her husband.
Jesus.
But she claims she didn't do it. In trying to uncover the truth, Beth finds herself in over her head as she contends with Colorado gun smugglers, clickbait culture, and doldrums of marriage and her own tarnished past.
Oh.
Because all journalists have tarnished past.
Right.
I'm just kidding. I'm just like throwing that out there.
Goodness gracious, man.
That sounds intense.
It does sound really freaking
Like all these originals sound pretty fucking
I know,
intense.
they're going with the drama,
They
man.
are,
They're
man.
going with the drama. Well, former U.S. Paralympian champion and actress Katie Sullivan has booked a recurring role on the Showtime's upcoming Dexter revival.
Yes.
Starring as Michael C. Hall. The 10-episode revival is set 10 years after Dexter Morgan went missing in the eye of the Hurricane Laura. Everybody knows the character now is living under an assumed name in upstate New York, far from his original home in Miami. Sullivan will recur as Esther, and the dispatcher at the Iron Lake Police Station.
So that's pretty cool, and kudos to hiring handicapped individuals because that's a brilliant move. And she's fantastic. She's actually had a couple of little bit roles and other things. So they're like, great move. Okay, now the bad news. We're switching over to NBC Universal, and this is why I said people might follow along with what SAG does if it works, because the live shit is not working apparently. This year's 78th Golden Globe Awards broadcast, the first ever bi-coastal and virtual show, and they had the most popular hosts.
Yeah.
These two that everybody loves, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler. Well, not everybody apparently, because it only drew 6.9 million viewers.
That's crazy.
And only a 1.5 rating amongst the coveted 18 to 49, which is damn near like nothing.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad. These early numbers are really bleak for NBC because, guys, if you don't remember, and we talked about this on the show a couple of years ago, NBC signed a deal to pay $60 million for the rights to the Golden Globes, to air the Golden Globes. So,
yeah.
advertisers are not going to line up to advertise during the show if it's only getting that amount of ratings.
Yeah, that was rough, man. That was really
bad.
rough. But it wasn't all bad news for the award show, though. Nomadland's win for Best Picture Drama made history at the Golden Globes, as well as for director Chloe Zhao, and for her, the Nomadland producing team. The win is the first time a film directed by a woman has ever won the top prize in the Golden Globes' 78-year history.
Man.
And since Zhao produced Nomadland as well, she also is the first Asian woman to win the Best Picture as a producer as well.
That's awesome.
I know, and it's super exciting too because she's going to be directing The Eternals.
That's right. For anybody who doesn't know, she's now the front runner for the Oscar, and she's like J-Lo said, Marvel's Eternals, the first group movie since the Avengers.
I know, right?
We'll see. We'll find out how it's going to go. I'm super excited about this next one because I just love these two. They're like, who doesn't, right? They're like relationship goals all the way around. Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard are teaming up on screen again for a new 1-hour game show entitled Family Game Fight. Because I love they're always like just egging each other on,
They
right?
are.
They're always kind of... So, of course, they're going to be on opposite teams. This sounds like a really fun show. The broadcast network has ordered 10 episodes of the new series that are going to feature Bell and Shepard as both hosts and competitors. Each episode will see Bell and Shepard be adopted into a family of 4 to compete in a series of games with big cash prize up for grabs. NBC has not yet announced the specific amount of that cash prize. So basically, Kristen and Dak are going to each be on opposite teams with a family, and they're going to be competing, and that's going to be so fucking funny.
I agree.
Oh, man, they're so good together.
I can't wait. The upcoming NBC drama series La Brea has added 4 new cast members. Ian Mackin, Jack Marin, John Ceta, and Lily Santiago have all joined the series. And, of course, previously announced cast member is Natalie Zay as Zahira Gorecki. And, so that's going to be super freaking exciting, guys. Remember, this is the one where there's a massive, mysterious sinkhole that opens up in Los Angeles and tears a family in half, separating a mother and son and a father from a daughter. All the crazy things. So,
and I'm a huge fan of Natalie Z. Please come on the show, Natalie Z. I've loved her ever since Justified. She's just fantastic. Yes. All right, anyway, Peacock has ordered a new series hosted by world-famous science educator Bill Nye, the science guy. What? That's going to be awesome. It's called The End Is Nigh. Oh, that sounds ominous. And it's going to dive into the myths and realities of both natural and unnatural threats, from viruses to volcanoes, asteroids to authoritarianism, and climate change to chemical warfare. Damn. The show offers a scientific blueprint for surviving, mitigating, and preventing such catastrophes from occurring. Seth MacFarlane. And his Fuzzy Door Productions is going to executive produce this thing.
Fucking epic.
Man, he is going like all in. He's producing all kinds of shit, y'all. Yeah. Really making a hardcore move behind the camera. That's awesome.
Hell yeah. Fast and Furious 9, F9, I believe that they're calling it.
Yes.
Which was slated debut over Memorial Day weekend, has been pushed back its release date once again. The film is now expecting to open for summer, June 25th, so we'll see. Universal also announced that Minions: The Rise of Gru, the 5th installment of the Despicable Me franchise, has postponed an entire year. The animated family film was set to open July 2nd, 2021. Now it's supposed to be July 1st of 2022.
Wow. Now, do you think this is Universal's direct response to Paramount moving A Quiet Place up to that weekend?
Maybe.
They didn't want F9 to compete against it, so they're moving it back? Because that's the weekend that we just told you about that Quiet Place is going to open. So,
yeah.
I mean, you would have to think it had something to do with it.
Yeah.
You don't want your big franchise to go up against another blockbuster. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, right.
This one sounds interesting. We've Michael. But what about Janet? Right? Well, A&E Networks is going to tell us about Janet. Janet Jackson's life story is going to get the documentary treatment next year from Lifetime and A&E to celebrate the 40th anniversary of her first album. Lifetime and A&E have ordered a 2-night, 4-hour documentary event with the working title Janet. Miss Nasty, if you're...
So good.
What? Come on, you knew it had to be coming. Come on, they should have called it that. Jackson's first album, titled Janet Jackson, was released when I was 12 years old. Back in 1982. I just gave away my age. When she was 16. Oh, but see, she's older than me, so it's all good.
That's fine.
The documentary promises to offer unprecedented access to the Rock and Roll Hall of Famer and her life, and an intimate, honest, and unfiltered look at the untold story of one of the highest-earning artists in music histories. The only question left is, will it involve the infamous Nipplegate?
It's a fair point.
It has to, right? I feel like it has to.
Yeah.
So, especially with all the Justin Timberlake, all the flack, and the Britney, and all that. I feel like if you don't, it's you're failing somehow.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to.
Yep.
Sony, heading over to Sony, actress Tamara Tooney has been cast in Sony's Journal of Jordan, which is being directed by Oscar winner and epic fucking actor Denzel Washington.
Yes.
As she joins previously announced stars that we've talked about before, Michael B. Jordan and Shantae Adams. Tooney is reuniting with Washington after working together in the Robert Zemeckis directed film Flight.
Oh my gosh, you guys remember that where
So
Denzel was a
good.
drunk pilot and a crash and like, ooh, yeah, that. And Tooney, oh my God, I love her from Law and Order, and I was first familiar with her. Don't judge me on As the World Turns. That's right, I said it, a soap opera. Okay, As the World Turns, she played Jessica. That's right, I said it. Okay, but she's phenomenal. She's just a brilliant New York-based actress, and I think that she's a great addition to that cast.
Right.
Okay, Sony Pictures plans to release Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway, on the big screen earlier than anticipated. I'm telling you, the Biden and the
People are feeling
vaccines and
comfortable.
stuff, they're feeling good. They're feeling good. The animated sequel, which was originally scheduled for June, is now moving up and is going to debut on May 14th. You guys remember Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway, sees the return of the furry rogue bunny. In the sequel, Peter finds himself unable to shake his mischievous reputation. He ventures out of the garden and finds himself in a world where his antics are appreciated, but he has to reconsider the cost when his family risks everything to come looking for him. You guys remember it's James Corden as Peter Rabbit, Rose Byrne, Domhnall Gleeson, and David Oyelowo. I mean, that's a phenomenal cast. The first movie did like extremely well and overperformed, and so it makes total sense that they're doing a sequel.
I agree. Now heading over to MGM, Channing Tatum and his Free Association production partners, Reed Carolyn and Peter Kieran, have signed on a first look deal with MGM. Kicking off the partnership, MGM will release Dog, the directorial debut of Tatum and Kieran. And the movie is expected to debut theatrically in 2021, which is very interesting. In addition to co-directing, Tatum will also star in Dog. The film is described as a road trip comedy. Tracks two hard-charging former Army Rangers paired against their will. Together, they race down the Pacific coast to make it to a fellow soldier's funeral.
That's right. Yeah. We talked about this one a couple of weeks ago. So interesting that it's coming under a deal with MGM,
right?
Like, who will eventually own that deal when MGM is sold?
Yeah, right.
I'm just going to say that again. This one's getting a lot of play. If you're a video game person, definitely you know Borderlands. You know that it's being made into a movie. It's getting a lot of play. Ariana Greenblatt is going to play apparently Tiny Tina, the teenage explosives expert in the upcoming adaptation. She joins a cast of heavy hitters that already include A-listers Cate Blanchett as Lilith, Kevin Hart as Roland, Jamie Lee Curtis as Dr. Tannis, and Jack Black as Claptrap.
That's funny.
Awesome, man.
I know.
That's going to be great.
Hell yeah. Oscar-winning actress Kathy Bates has joined the previously announced stars Abby Ryder-Forston and Rachel McAdams in Lionsgate's feature adaptation of Judy Blume's classic novel, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Bates will play Margaret's grandmother, Sylvia.
That's talking about a rounding up awesome cast.
Right.
I mean, fans of all of them, and that movie sounds interesting too.
Right.
So good. I like this one. I really like this one. Lionsgate is looking to give stars a bigger movie streaming bundle by signing a multi-year theatrical output agreement. Yes, Stars Theatrical. You heard that right. With its premium subscription platform for Lionsgate and Summit Films. As part of the deal, Stars is going to get exclusive first window for Lionsgate Films, with the current distribution agreement with Hulu expires at the end of 2021. So, bye-bye to Lionsgate Films on Hulu.
Right.
Summit label films will land on Stars when the current deal with HBO. Buy Summit Films on HBO.
Bye.
That deal ends at the end of 2022. So this new multi-year deal will see movie titles and franchises like John Wick, the Borderlands movie that we just talked about, White Bird, A Wonder Story, and Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, that we just talked about, all heading to Stars.
Shit.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big loss for Hulu and HBO Max.
I agree.
It really is. So, smart move on their part.
Hell yeah. Man, I love Kiki. And everyone does.
That sounds like a song.
It is.
I love Kiki.
Kiki. Do you love me? Because it is a song.
Yes,
Because it is a song. E1 has partnered with Kiki Palmer in an overall television deal with Entertainment One. E1 will manage the worldwide rights and serve as the studio for all projects created under her deals.
That's, epic, because she is extremely creative and like a brilliant mind in the industry. So I think they're going to do really huge things together.
Agreed.
All right, moving to Netflix, the dominant streamer still, but for how long we don't know.
Right.
I'm super excited about this one because I love both these characters, and it only made sense. Cobra Kai has promoted both Vanessa Rubio and Peyton List to series regulars for the upcoming season 4 on Netflix. Rubio's been with the show since the season 1. You know, that's the mom. The mom of Johnny Lawrence's star pupil, Miguel. You guys know that. And List joined the show in season 2 as Tori Nichols, the bad girl. In addition, both Dallas Dupree, Young, and Uwana O'Brien have joined season Season 4, Young will recur as Kenny, a bullied new kid in school who turns to karate as a way to defend himself. And O'Brien will recur as Devin, a potential new karate student who is relentlessly competitive, a quick study, and equally quick-tempered when she's provoked.
Oh, shit. Sounds very good, man. Sounds very good. Order to a multi-camera comedy series from Jack Dolgan, Doug Mand, and Courtney Kang.
Oh.
And get this, Emily Osment and Greg Sulkin are set to star in the untitled series, which centers around on a snooty, self-proclaimed intellectual who is played by Osment, forced to move in with her carefree sister and her sister's lovable, eccentric friends. Interesting.
Oh, that sounds... And why does Courtney Kang sound familiar? Because she's the creator of the new Doogie that's coming up.
Yes.
Interesting. So she's working for Disney and Netflix. Oh,
right.
She's playing it. She's playing it.
Listen.
All right. So are you guys wondering, like we are, what's going to happen to the Duffer Brothers after the final season of Stranger Things? Don't worry. They're teaming up with somebody. It's got a lot of little cred. Just a little. Stranger Things creators, the Duffer Brothers, Steven and Spielberg's Amblin Television and Paramount Television Studios, are adapting Stephen King. So that's right. They're getting Steven squared. Steven Spielberg and Stephen King.
Right.
I think the Duffers are going to be okay. They're teaming up for an adaptation of Stephen King's book, The Talesman. It's going to be a series on Netflix. The Talesman tells the story of Jack Sawyer, a 12-year-old boy who sets off on an epic road trip quest to save the life of his dying mother. He's in search of a talisman, a powerful relic that can not only heal his mother, but, as he learns, save the world. Sawyer's journey crisscrosses two realities, the America we know and its dangerous fantasy world twin, the Territories. Damn. I've never read that Stephen King book, but it sounds fucking badass.
Right?
Okay.
Completely agree.
And it totally makes sense if there's two realities that it's the Duffer Brothers.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a smart move. Smart move.
Exactly. Katie Siegel and Jason O'Mara and Dula Hill have been starred in Netflix's upcoming horror film, Hypnotic? Hypnotic?
There you go.
Everybody knows. The thriller centers around a young woman seeking self-improvement who enlists the help of a renowned hypnotist who, after a handful of intense sessions, she soon discovers an unexpected, deadly subsequence. So, yeah, consequences.
What?
Yes,
What?
That's the word.
Okay, like I'm in because Dooley Hill's in it. And Jason O'Mara. I like Jason O'Mara also. So.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be any good, but if Dooley Hill's in it, it's good. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Did you watch this trailer? Because this trailer looked badass. Netflix released the first look at Jupiter's Legacy. It's coming out May 7th. Remember we told you that Mark Miller, comic book god Mark Miller, had signed on with Netflix to do a series of superhero shows and stuff based on his books? Well, this is one of the first ones, Jupiter's Legacy. In the show, the world sees the next generation of superheroes and supervillains rise up. Not that. Nope. Sorry. Can't get away from it.
Yeah.
With pressure building as the young heroes struggle to live up to their parents' legendary reputations. Remember, guys, this is the one that stars Josh Duhamel and Leslie Bibb, and I mean so many others that are going to be freaking awesome. Watch the trailer. It looks bad. It takes his sketches and turns them into what they're going to be in the live. It's so badass. Watch the trailer. It's awesome.
That does sound awesome. Well, that's not the only trailer that was released by Netflix this week. They also released the official trailer of Thunder Force, which everybody knows stars Melissa McCarthy and Octavia Spencer as two best friends with newly acquired superpowers. The film is set to make its streaming debut on April 9th, and it looks so freaking funny.
Oh my god, the best part of that trailer for me is when they're in their suits and they roll up and they're in this like badass Lamborghini and they can't get out. Like they're fucking struggling to get out of the car. They're like, we really need to rethink this vehicle. Like, oh my god, it's so fucking funny.
That's so great.
Kristen Bell, it's not just NBC. She's doing all kinds of things. Kristen is going to be joined by newly announced castmates Mary Holland, Shelley Henning, Christina Anthony, Cameron Britton, Samara Ziyech, and Benjamin Levy Aguilar in her new Netflix limited series, The Woman in the House. The 6 cast members will also work with previously announced cast member Tom Riley. Remember, this is the one we told you about where Belle plays a heartbroken protagonist, Anna, and every day is the same. She sits with her wine, staring out the window, watching life go by without her. But when a handsome neighbor moves across in, bow, chicka, bow, wow, Anna starts to see a light at the end of the tunnel, baby, until she witnesses a gruesome murder. Or did she?
Like what?
I mean, this sounds like really cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's why I love Kristen Bell, because she can do Frozen, she can do comedy, then she can do some twisted shit like this.
Yeah.
She's just talent all the way around.
She's great, man. She's great. Nicey Nash has signed on to star alongside Gabrielle Union and Keith Powers in the Numa Peripher directed romantic comedy The Perfect Find.
Yes.
It's a Netflix film based on the 2016 book by Taya Williams, and the plot follows Gina Jones Union, who is hopeful to find a new job in beauty journalism. It'll be a fresh start in her life.
Okay.
She soon learns that her new boss, Darcy, is her frenemy. Gina starts a relationship with the company's videographer, Eric, and things get a little complicated when she learns that he's Darcy's son.
Damn.
Yeah.
That sounds like bad drama all the way around.
All the way around.
Oh, yeah. Gabrielle's going to kick ass in it, though. There you go. Okay. Suraj Sharma, Life of Pi, you guys know, has landed the lead opposite Pallavi Sharda in Wedding Season, the Netflix comedy being directed by Tom Day from Shanghai Noon. Unable to escape the pressures of her immigrant parents to find a spouse, Asha Murara teams up with bachelor Ravi Shah to get their extended South Asian family off their fucking backs.
Yeah.
The duo pretends to date in order to survive a summer of weddings, only to find themselves actually falling for each other as they struggle to balance who they are with who their parents want them to be. Oh.
Interesting.
Oh.
Right?
But this is like, I mean, arranged marriages, guys, and like these things, these families are on. I mean, like that happens.
Yeah.
So this should be pretty funny and entertaining.
Exactly. Well, heading over to Amazon, a spinoff of Bosch has been ordered to the series at IMDb TV, and the news comes after it's announced that last year's Bosch would end after its 7th season, which is slated to air this summer. So that's very freaking exciting. Titus Wilver and Mimi Rogers and Madison Lintz will reprise their roles in the spinoff. The new series will follow Harry Bosch. He embarks in a new chapter of his career and finds himself working alongside with his one-time enemy, top-notch attorney, Honey Money Chandler Rogers.
Now, is this a new series, or are you just continuing Bosch?
Why
is Bosch getting canceled? All the characters are coming back. It's continuing the story that you're already telling. Isn't that just another season? Like, I'm not quite sure I understand how this is a new spin-off series. Okay.
Right? How is it different?
I don't. I'm thrilled because Bosch is a great show. We've had a lot of our friends on that show, and it's fantastic, and we love it. But just say it's a new season.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
It's fine.
All right. The first trailer for Tom Clancy. Oh, my gosh. Did you guys watch this trailer? Badass. The trailer for Tom Clancy's Without Remorse, starring our boy Michael B. Jordan, is dropped. The film also stars Lauren London, Brett Gelman, Jacob Scipio, Jack Kelsey, Coleman Delmongo, Todd Lansons, and a whole bunch of other people. You guys remember, this is the one where Jordan plays Navy SEAL John Kelly in the film, which is the origin story of John Clark, one of the most popular characters in Clancy's Jack Ryan franchise. After Russian soldiers kill Kelly's family, including his pregnant wife, due to his role in the secret operation against them, he goes on a mission seeking justice for their murders. But while pursuing the assassins, along with a fellow SEAL, Karen Greer, and CIA agent Robert Ritter, Kelly becomes the uncover international conspiracy that threatens to invoke a war between the U.S. and Russia. Damn.
Right? Intense.
Damn. And my man Michael B.
Yeah, right?
I mean, he's killing it. He's absolutely killing it.
Exactly.
Boom.
Exactly, man. But this is some very exciting news because everybody knows that Supernatural and The Boys are actually connected a little bit.
Yeah.
But a number of writers and producers from Supernatural are reuniting on Amazon's The Boys. It was developed on Amazon by Supernatural creator Eric Kripke, and who also serves as showrunner, joining him behind the scenes going into The Boys' 3rd season as Meredith Glenn, David Reed, and Jim Michaels. It was previously announced that Supernatural star Jensen Ackles will also be joining everybody on The Boys Season 3.
So that's going to be badass.
Right?
I mean, bring the team, bring them on. So, and there's still hope that Jeffrey Dean Morgan. We'll see, right?
Exactly.
We'll see. I mean, there's talk. All right. Also making some news. Sissy, I'm proud to be a coal miner's daughter. Spacek and Ed O'Neill has been cast in the lead role of the upcoming Amazon series Light Years. The series follows Irene, which is Sissy Spacek, and Franklin, which is Ed O'Neill, a couple who years ago discovered a chamber buried in their backyard, which inexplicably leads to strange deserted planet. What?
Oh.
They've carefully guarded their secret ever since, but when an enigmatic young man enters their lives, the York's quiet existence in a quickly upended, and the mysterious chamber they thought they knew so well turns out to be a much more than they could have possibly imagined.
What the hell?
Whoa.
That's intense.
Did this young stranger come from the chamber? Did he come up out of the chamber? This sounds interesting.
Right?
Okay.
Damn.
All right.
Constance Wu, Riley Kaw, and Janae Triplehorn have been cast in the upcoming Amazon thriller series, The Terminal List.
Yes.
They have joined the previously announced series lead Chris Pratt and his recently announced fellow cast member Taylor Kitsch. And the series follows James Reese, played by Pratt, after his entire platoon of Navy SEALs is ambushed during a high-stakes covert op mission.
Yeah, this sounds badass.
It does.
Chris Pratt as a Navy SEAL just sounds badass.
I agree.
I mean, and that's an epic cast. I mean, Constance Wu, come on. And Riley Keough, she is just slaying. That's Elvis's granddaughter, if you guys don't know. She's she's phenomenal. Awesome. Amazon's fashion competition series, Making the Cut, hosted and executive produced by you love her, Heidi Klum, and Tim Gunn. It's officially coming back for a second season, if you were wondering. I know you're excited about it, but this time around, there's some stuff. Supermodel Winnie Harlow and Moschino creative director Jeremy Scott, they're joining the judging panel.
Oh, shit.
Oh, season 2 of the unscripted fashion series, which pits 10 international designers and entrepreneurs against each other for $1 million and an Amazon fashion mentorship, will premiere this summer.
Everybody's always been interested in reality
Yes.
TV, and I mean, it just makes sense that the streamers are also getting very involved.
Oh,
with
yeah.
it. So
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
kudos to them, man. Kudos to them. Heading over to Apple. Apple has ordered a new anthology series from Glow creators Liv Flahove and Carly Minch. The show is titled Roar, which will star Nicole Kidman, Cynthia Ivro, Merritt Weaver, and Allison Brie.
Damn.
I know, that's intense, man. The anthology series is described as a darkly comedic feminist fables, and it's based on Cecilia Ahern's books of short stories of the same name. Apple has ordered 8 half-hour episodes.
Okay.
Right?
All right. That's, an epic cast, and if it's dark comedy, then I'm in.
Definitely.
Sounds pretty good. I'm totally on this one because I love Lily Collins, and she's one of my faves. Apple TV Plus announced the cast and set the premiere date for the upcoming genre-bending series Calls. Nicholas Braun, Clancy Brown, and Lily Collins, Rosario Dawson, Mark Duplass, Karen Gilliam, Judy Greer. Holy shit. This is a lot. Danny Houston, Nick Jonas, Riley Keough, again, making it. Joey King, Stephen Lee. Woo! Basically everybody. Aubrey Plaza. Yeah, everybody in Hollywood is going to be in this.
Right.
So it's going to be great. Calls is designed to be an immersive television experience that uses audio combined with minimal abstract visuals to tell 9 individual short-form stories through 9 calls. Each episode will follow a dark and dramatic mystery that unfolds through a series of seemingly average and at times unconnected phone calls. As time goes by in the episodes, though, characters begin to experience intense and unsettling events.
Oh.
This sounds like freaking awesome.
Sounds like a social experiment.
I mean, yeah.
It really does.
Yeah, that's going to be freaking tripping.
Man.
Talk about taking chances, right?
Yeah, seriously, man. Seriously. Apple is doing some amazing things. Emmy winner Ray Liotta will make a return to the series television as a lead opposite of Taron Egerton and Paul Walter Halser, and in Apple's limited series In With the Devil.
Ooh. And
now the 6-episode limited series is told through the lens of an intimate relationship between 2 prisoners, so 2 inmates, and exploring the lengths that people will go to in order to seek redemption. If true, absolution is ever really possible. I mean, so you'll see. If so, at what cost?
Yeah. Yeah. I think absolution is possible.
Yeah.
And we're going to find out how much it costs.
We will.
Okay, it's a prison thing. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. This one sounds interesting. We're gonna finish up the old industry news with a prize from Apple, and it's gonna be awesome. Apple has ordered a live-action series adaptation of the Korean webtoon Dr. Brain. What? The series will be the first completely Korean language project at Apple. Kim Ji-woon will write and direct, with Parasite star Lee Soon-kyun set to star. The series is currently in production in South Korea, which would make total sense, and is slated to debut later this year. Dr. Brain follows a brain scientist who is obsessive about figuring out new technologies to access the conscience and memories of the brain. His life goes sideways when his family falls victim to a mysterious accident, and he uses his skills to access memories from his wife's brain to piece together the mystery of what actually happened to his family and why.
Damn.
That's intense.
So much intense stories that are about to come out.
I mean, seriously, like woo.
I know.
Okay, we wanted original content. We are getting it. Like that,
shit.
Man.
Yeah, they've been listening.
It's all because of us.
Exactly. Well, now it is time for the guest segment, guys. You guys know we're super excited about this one. I mean, this guy's a true up-and-comer that's on a huge show right now. Walker, Jason Johnson is coming on the show to talk about his career. He was a professional dirt biker.
Yeah.
But then decided to get into the acting career in the middle of a pandemic.
Like, hey, I'm locked at home. What do I do? I'm going to start acting.
Let's do it.
I mean, this guy, though, all kidding aside, wait until you hear this story. It is so freaking inspirational. And for all you out there that want to become actors and actresses and get into the industry, this guy can show you how it's done, man. This guy's doing it.
Exactly. No agent, no manager. He's there.
Yeah.
So good. Well, here he is.
Jason Johnson, welcome inside the Crazy Ant Farm. How are you, man?
I'm doing great, guys. How are you?
We're doing well, living that dream, buddy.
Yeah, getting a little crazy on these pandemic nights.
I like it.
There we go. But man, we're so super excited to have you on the show today because the success that Walker is having right now, which is surprising to me, honestly, because there's so many reboots and some of them are being taken really well and some of them are being like trashed like crazy. But Walker is honestly one of my favorite reboots out right now. And we'll be talking a little bit about that. We'll be talking about your career and all this crazy stuff. But what we like to do at the beginning of each interview segment is have our guests introduce yourself to the listeners out there. How'd you get started in this entertainment game? Was it something you always wanted to do? Or did you kind of fall into it? Or talk a little bit about it, man.
Yeah, for sure. Well, first of all, thanks for having me on. I was super excited at the opportunity to do this with you guys.
Awesome.
So acting is definitely something I've always been interested in. Like any, kid growing up, you see movies and you just become enamored, with the tough guys on the screen, and you just kind of want to be one of those guys. And, I kind of fell in love with it at a young age. Although my dad also introduced me into dirt bike riding, and that kind of took me on a different path, and kind of forced me to choose which one I wanted to do more at the time. And I chose spending more time with my dad riding dirt bikes, so but acting is always something I've loved, and after I retired from racing, I knew that acting is what I wanted to do after racing was over.
Yeah.
And I had no idea how to get into it. How many hundreds of thousands of people are trying to become an actor?
Absolutely.
It's one of those things that even, to be honest, this isn't even something that a lot of people even close to me know about yet, because I'm so new at it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been lucky to be fairly successful at it so far. And it's just one of those things that when you tell someone like, hey, I'm going to be an actor, they kind of look at you like you're crazy.
Right.
Well, you're from Austin, right? Is that correct?
Am, yes.
Yeah. Well,
yes.
And Austin is famous for one of the biggest film festivals, South by Southwest, and it's massive like every year, right? Well,
absolutely.
Obviously not COVID years, but you know what I'm saying. So, did you ever attend the festival? Was that something like you were interested in? Because like I said, it's a massive festival. It lures all kinds of big names there every year. So were you ever a part of that, or went to it, or did that kind of get the the juices flowing about, oh, wait a minute, I could be involved in this?
Yes, early on I did go to South by Southwest. It started, I believe it became really, really popular when I was still in high school. I went to high school in Dripping Springs, and so me and friends would go to South by Southwest whenever we could get some tickets, and it was an awesome time. And being high schoolers, that might have been a little more of an excuse to get drunk than it was to go enjoy films and music. But later in life, I have gone a couple times, a little older, and definitely appreciate the hard work that goes into the independent films and people really trying to get into the festivals and things like that. And
absolutely,
it absolutely motivates you. It's like, these people are out here doing it and they're chasing their passion. That's definitely something that kind of is inspiring. And I wouldn't say that that's the one thing that pushed me to do it, but it definitely helped. For sure.
Definitely. And I mean, speaking of inspiring, especially in a crazy time that we're living in, after reading your bio, seeing that you started your acting career in April of 2020 in literally the midst of the pandemic, and you still decided to go forward with it and chase your dreams, that is truly inspiring, and that should tell everybody out there, all the listeners out there who want to break into the entertainment industry, that now is your time. Don't make excuses. Just get up, do it, make a self-tape, make anything you want to do, and try to get your name and your foot in the door, because obviously you can do it in the middle of a pandemic. That is crazy, man.
Yeah. Did you have an agent before, or were you like literally just trying to do all this through like Zoom? Well, I'm just curious because April, that's like straight up COVID.
Yeah. It's I may be a genius or I may be crazy for doing it. I don't know yet. But no, I didn't have an agent. I did it all myself. In fact, I still don't have an agent, and I'm currently deciding on which agency I want to go with.
There you go.
So still no agent, just doing it all myself. Just been very blessed and getting the opportunities that I've gotten so far. Basically in April, I just kind of was sitting on the couch with nothing better to do on lockdown, and I just something was kind of driving me and pushing me internally to, hey, you need to give this a shot, because I had been hearing from quite a few people from taking some acting classes since that September before the pandemic, that I had something, some sort of talent that could be refined and that could possibly get me somewhere in the industry. And so I had a lot of voices pushing me to do it, and including that internal voice. And I just decided, what the heck, let me just apply for some jobs and see what happens. And if people like what I've got, then I'm awesome. And if they don't, I'll just keep working to get better. And man, sure enough, I started landing roles left and right, and I've just never stopped since.
Dude,
so
that's
it's
awesome.
been a wild ride so far.
Yeah, and I can imagine all the agencies are chomping at the bits, because you're like a first-round draft pick, man. I mean,
seriously.
Literally, Walker was renewed after like its second or third episode for season 2, and you're a part of a huge television project right now, so it makes sense. So I mean, kudos to you, man, and obviously you're doing something right, and it's very inspiring to hear.
No, I appreciate that very much. Yeah, I was super excited to be a part of Walker. I joined in episode 2, and we've just been working pretty steady ever since then. So it's been an awesome time. The crew and the cast, and I mean, everybody has just been fantastic. And I really can't say enough good things about everybody that's a part of Walker, because it takes everybody to make it good. And I think the reason why it's getting great reviews and the reason why it was renewed so quickly is because that shows, it shows in the end piece that you see on the screen. So
definitely. And what's it like for you being in such a new stage of your life? And I mean, you get put on this big show and you have some great legends already like established in the entertainment industry on this show. I mean, are you just soaking it all in? Is it just one big learning experience?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it was kind of surreal. when we were working on episode 5, I had a scene with Jared Padalecki, and we were walking out of some hotel doors, and while we were waiting for them to get everything set, we were just kind of sitting in there, just me and him, and man, it feels like I know his whole life story now. I mean, he's such a great guy. He's very easygoing. He treats you like a person, and like just another human being, and that was refreshing, because you hear a lot of stories about certain celebrities or certain people who have kind of become, a little too good for the little guys.
Right.
And, so it was that was my first real experience working with someone of his stature, and I was blown away by just how nice and sincere he was.
Yeah, and I think that's because Padalecki was once in your shoes. I mean, he practically grew up on the CW.
Yeah.
WB/CW. I mean, he was a kid when he was on Gilmore Girls, and then made the transition to Supernatural and has been there his whole life practically. So, I mean, he's that guy. He was that young guy who had to be on the set with these established people, and I'm sure was treated properly. So it's always good to hear that people who had the opportunity or given opportunities give back and treat people the right way when they're in a position to do so. So that's awesome, man. I'm so glad to hear that.
Absolutely. Yeah, me too. It was very refreshing, to really have that experience and be able to just talk with him, and there wasn't just this awkwardness in the room because he was somebody that I wasn't. It was like we were just two dudes hanging out. It was a cool experience.
Well, and he's a brave dude, because if you're gonna do a reboot, you're gonna take on Chuck Norris. Like, I'm gonna reboot your show, Chuck, and you're gonna deal with it. I'm just like, as Chuck showed up on the set, I know he says he gave his blessing, but I mean, just like.
Yeah. I have not seen Chuck on the set.
but you guys are ready for him, right? That's good.
Absolutely, good. Yeah. He's got his roundhouse kicks, and we've got fake guns.
That's right.
So.
I love it. I love it. And I mean, we were talking about this off air. We have a theory. Padalecki probably saw, because he's an executive producer, and he probably saw, oh, this guy's from Austin, Texas. I'm from Texas. We got to put him in the show.
That's right.
So, I mean, you already got that going for you, man, which is super awesome.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, if I could follow in his footsteps, I would be happy with that career for sure.
Well, you're off to a good start, dude. You booked yourself on a major show in a recurring role, and you don't even have an agent, so you're off to a good start.
Yeah, seriously, man. Seriously. What do you have? What do you think is going to happen for you in the future? Are you planning to stay in Texas, or are you planning to move out to LA or Atlanta, because that's really booming right now, Hollywood South, or what you thinking?
I'm a religious guy, and I just believe that God's going to put me where He wants me, and I will go wherever I feel that is the best shot for me to take my career to the next level. So whether that's because Austin is just booming and seems like everybody from California is moving here, and maybe Hollywood follows that and more productions become, prominent here, and this becomes another Atlanta or another LA, I'll stay here. If that means moving to Atlanta or to LA, I'll do that. I'm really very open and fluid to whatever I need to do in order to put myself in the best position to make my career the best it can be.
That's awesome. But yeah, because you have to kind of be open-minded and able to bob and weave wherever the entertainment industry changes, because it changes every single day. Like, it's an ever-evolving situation. So that's a really good mindset to have. And I mean, you were talking about a little bit earlier about idolizing actors on the big screen when you were growing up. I'm just curious, who were the actors that you were idolizing?
Oh, man.
Put you in the hot seat.
Yeah, there was a few. I would say that. Dang, that's a good question.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
So I was kind of that dinosaur geek when I was a young kid, and Jurassic Park had just come out.
There you go.
And man, I just fell in love with Jurassic Park. So Ian Malcolm was just really, really cool. And I know that's his character's name. Jeff Goldblum.
Yes.
was just he captured my attention. He was that dressed in all black, just cool dude, that was able to get away from the big T-Rex. And I don't know. I thought he was really cool. But then also you see like the action movies, Arnold was kicking ass, and there was just so many. I think I remember specifically thinking Sylvester Stallone was so cool back in the day when he did Judge Dredd.
Sure.
And I believe that was my first rated R movie that my dad let me watch with him when my mom wasn't home.
Wow.
Yeah. And but yeah, so there's a few, and way too many to name, and obviously you've got the greats out there. I think Tom Cruise is a madman for doing all his own stunts. And I think that's just so cool. But yeah, there's a ton of them.
Okay, well, all of them that you named, and rightfully so with Padalecki, like talking about how you talked about smart move. But all the ones you named, obviously now have kind of made the transition at some point behind the camera, either in the producing role or directing role or different stages. Do you see yourself emulating that down the line, further along in the career? Is that something that you see yourself doing, or do you always want to stay in front of the camera, or what's the goal for you future-wise?
I'm open to anything. I love challenges, and I love to learn new things. I was lucky enough to work with a fellow actor friend of mine. She was directing her first film. It was called Twinsies. Mm-hmm. It's a short film that she's going to enter in some festivals and things like that. And she asked me to come on as a producer. And so I had my first little taste at that. And it was a really, really cool experience. Had a lot of fun doing it. So could I see myself in the future doing that? Absolutely, yes. I don't see myself, in just on one side of the camera or the other for the rest of my career. Awesome. I would, one guy that I really, really look up to right now is Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
Yes.
That guy to me is just amazing at every role he takes on. He just emulates the character, totally embodies, the person that he's playing, and then he can also step behind the camera and direct while he's acting, or produce while he's acting.
Yeah.
A Star is Born, and this is going to sound crazy, but I never saw the original A Star is Born.
It's all good. I didn't either. This is my first one.
So
I did. Yeah, it's okay. It's all right.
He's old though. It's fine. He's old. It's all good.
But man, that film to me, like, seeing it for the first time through what his eyes for the film were, it blew me away. It's one of my favorite films to date.
And I tell you what, Logan and I talk about it all the time. We really do feel like he's this generation's Clint Eastwood. He's gotten to work with Clint a couple of times, and I feel like he's learned a lot from, and he's just doing exactly what Clint did back in the day. Like you said, personifying the role in front of the camera, but then moving behind and just acing the directing, and he's doing some composing, because he was heavily involved with the music in A Star is Born also, much like Clint was heavily involved in music in some of his films. And so, yeah, it's amazing. That's a good choice, man. That's a good choice.
Yeah. That's awesome. Clint Eastwood's is a badass himself. So
yes, sir.
That's so funny. Well, thinking about it, I mean, looking off of your IMDb headshot there, if your hair was darker and longer, you would kind of look like Bradley Cooper in A Star is Born. I'm just saying. You could be a body double.
I mean, you never know.
I'll take it. That's a good compliment.
Exactly. We'll start pushing it on social media. We'll get a campaign going. Right. We got you, man. We got you.
Perfect.
Once a crazy ant, always a crazy
That's
ant.
right.
We got you, man. We got you. But what shows are you watching right now? Because it's all about streaming. And I mean, with everybody being stuck at home, everybody was watching something. Everybody was binge watching either like a cult following classic, like my personal favorite, A Queen's Gambit. And I also watch Game of Thrones as well. But what about yourself, man? What about yourself?
I have spent probably more time on Netflix than I should. A Queen's Gambit was fantastic.
Yes,
it was. Yeah.
What's funny is I really didn't. I saw it scrolling across it several times, and I just I'm not into chess. Scroll right past it. Didn't even think anything of it. And then I came across a social media post that Joe Rogan had posted, and he just went on this like rant about how good A Queen's Gambit was and how it was like an 8-hour long film.
Hell
and
yeah.
It blew his mind. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I may have judged a book by its cover there. And so I went back and watched it, and I literally binged the whole thing. I could not stop watching it. It was amazing.
There you go.
But so that's one of them. Let's see. I recently just watched all the Marvel movies in order, in chronological order.
There you go.
Yeah. And a lot more made sense. I don't know if you guys have done that or not, but
we're
it was fantastic.
Geeks. Yeah, we're huge geeks.
Yeah. It was amazing because what really blew me away about watching them in chronological order was that the amount of thought time and the amount of attention to detail to stitch all those movies together to where one little word or sentence from a film made sense for a film that happened 10 years earlier.
Right.
Or, it's incredible. The talent that Hollywood has for writers and directors, and it's just amazing to me. I'm speechless.
Yeah, that MCU is no joke. The idea that a movie that's supposed to be the first in the chronological order was done 10 years after the first one came out, and that they
Right.
knew where the story... It's just mind-boggling to me how they did that. We're right there with you. Okay, so another thing we're doing, and I'm just curious. I know you're kind of just getting your feet wet. You're just getting started, but you are on a hit show, and it is a phenomenal cast, and it's, I'm sure, a phenomenal crew. So you've got to have some stories, but what we want to know is, have you already experienced a really embarrassing moment on set? Like, did you just come out and like totally embarrass yourself in front of Padalecki, or like, did you have that moment yet where you were like, oh crap, all right, this is it?
Like shit.
I would say the only time that I really just felt out of place or out of my element it was probably one of my first couple of days on set. The AD came up to me and he basically said, all right, I need you to follow me. He was going to go put me in my spot. And I was just walking like a normal human being, and he takes off like, basically sprint walking. And I wasn't aware that I was supposed to keep up with his pace, and because everything on these sets are just boom, 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 go, go, go. And that was my first real experience with a very high level production like that. And so, here I am looking like an idiot, just kind of strolling through set, and everybody's looking at me like, why is this guy taking forever? And it was just, and then, I got a little stern talking to, which I deserved. And, and it didn't happen again. I'm basically running everywhere I need to be. So
you're in great shape. You're in great shape.
Yeah.
That's great, though. That's great. That's good. We pride ourselves because this podcast is for the up-and-comers trying to break into the entertainment industry, and hearing stories like that so they don't feel so out of place when possibly something like that could happen to them on set. Make them feel more comfortable that, hey, we're all human. We all make goofy mistakes, and we all learn from them, and we all just move forward and have fun.
Well, and it goes to show you, right? The old say, hurry up and wait. It's like classic on every set, right? Hurry up and wait. So you got to like basically run, like you said, or brisk walk to wherever you're supposed to go, and everybody's looking at you if you're slow. Then you get there and you're like, well, we're not ready to shoot you. You just wait a minute.
You're like, what the hell?
Like, what? Hurry up and wait. So yeah, that's classic. That's classic.
Yeah,
So funny,
absolutely.
Man. Well, listen, thank you so much for taking time out of your night to come and get a little crazy with us on the podcast. We really appreciate it. Before we let you go, we know you are new to this thing, as we've mentioned multiple times in the interview, but what are some pieces of advice that you would give the fellow up-and-comers on how to break into the entertainment industry, and what pitfalls would you say to try to avoid?
I'll start with pitfalls first. I would say that be very careful who you surround yourself with, whether it be choosing fellow actors to maybe practice with or bounce ideas off of, or whether it be your acting coach or agency. I've heard a lot of horror stories, and I've been blessed enough to not really experience this myself, but people close to me have. And if you choose the wrong people to be around, it can kill your career quicker than anything else.
Yep.
So really take your time picking the right people to surround yourself with. And another caveat of that is you become the people you surround yourself with.
That's right.
So if you surround yourself with people who aren't motivated and who don't have that same passion, to take their career to the top that you do, you need to find a different crew, because if you surround yourself with winners, you're going to be a winner. And I would say that my advice is just to keep pushing. This is a business of rejection. Rejection is not something that's easy. I would say that you're going to audition for hundreds of things usually before you get that one really good one.
Yep.
And I would say that just let it roll off your shoulders. It's not a personal thing, that maybe you just didn't have the right look, or maybe there was just someone that just really nailed it and you were almost there and you just need a little bit more work, so just, I would say, don't get down on yourself and keep pushing, keep trying, keep getting better, and it'll pay off in the end.
Such good pieces of advice, especially, like we said, from somebody who's brand new to this thing. I mean, you've got a great head on your shoulders, man, and no doubt you're going to go far in this entertainment industry.
Oh, yeah, without doubt.
I appreciate that, guys, very much.
Of course.
I'm looking forwed to it.
So when you become a series regular and we call, make sure you
yeah, right.
Absolutely.
All kidding aside, though, man, seriously, open invite anytime you want to come back, whether you're a series regular or not. We don't care. You're a cool guy, and you're a great human being, and we had a blast talking to you. So open invite, man. Whenever you want to come back and chat, we're all down for it.
Hell yeah.
That sounds awesome, guys. It was a pleasure getting to chat with you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Of course.
I would definitely do it again anytime you guys wanted me.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Man. Before we let you go, though, social media, where can the fans follow you?
So this is a little strange, but I don't have any right now.
No, that's all good. That's all good.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I've kept my my new acting career very close to the vest. So a lot of my friends and even family don't know that I'm doing this right now.
Oh wow!
So they're gonna see me on Amazon Prime and possibly Netflix sometime within the next year, and they'd be like, "What have you been doing?"
Hell yeah.
So I don't have any yet. I canceled all my social media after I quit dirt bike racing.
Right.
Just because I wanted a break from it.
Definitely.
But I'll have some stuff up soon, so maybe next time we talk, I'll have some to shout out.
That's right. It'll be fun for everybody who listens to the show to search for you. So,
yeah, exactly.
Who is this guy? We gotta find him.
Where is he?
There you go.
Maybe a bunch of fake accounts will start popping up.
Yeah. Trying to be you. That's so funny. And I also just one more question. Was this your first ever interview?
I've had small little interviews, but it is my first podcast, and to me, this is my first interview in the way that I feel like you guys are on just a different level than the other thing was. So.
Awesome. Dude, that's what we were trying to do. We were trying to break that podcast virginity. But I'm so super happy. Dude, this was awesome. I'm really happy you came on the show.
Yeah, me too, guys. I really appreciate it. And like I said, I'd be happy to come back on anytime. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. See you later.
All right, cheers.
Bye. Man, just what a humble guy.
Yeah, just dude. I mean, I don't know if you could tell, but my jaw practically hit the floor when he said he didn't have an agent.
Yeah, and he's on a huge show
so
right
you
now.
started acting during COVID when nobody was even seeing each other in person, and you booked yourself onto a show without an agent? That's unheard of,
right?
Man. That's insane. So this guy, man.
Dude, I really think he's gonna go far.
I do too. I do too.
Really good guy. Anytime he wants to come back on, he's more than welcome.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you again, Jason Johnson, for coming on the show. All right, now it is time for the top 5 segment, man.
Ooh.
And another difficult one, because this guy, he just likes to make it hard on us.
I mean,
he
Jason,
gets personal joy from this
seriously,
shit.
dude, you knew when you gave us this one, 5 would be impossible.
Right.
We did 5, but I mean, literally, I think we could have, when we were talking about this one, we could have both literally listed 50 fucking movies.
Yeah.
This was so hard.
Exactly.
I don't even
And
know.
I mean, plus, it's top 5 biopics. We could have done top 5 biopics just music.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
we tried to put it all
and
together.
Then historical figures or there was just so many, I don't even know, but we gave it our best shot, so.
We did.
Here they are.
Here they are. Here they freaking are. Well, my number 5 goes to Catch Me If You Can.
Yes.
Frank Abagnale. Man, this was such a great freaking movie. It's almost 3 hours long, if not 3 hours, played by Leo, and Mr. Tom Hanks. Oh my
Yes.
goodness, these two were absolutely phenomenal in this film. But I mean, the reason I brought up the time is because it doesn't even feel like 3 hours.
No, it
because
really
it's
doesn't.
So entertaining and so fun to watch. You're basically watching this kid come up with all these different identities and trying to like just live life to as full as he can. And he's real. And when he got caught, he started working with the FBI after that.
Yeah.
True story.
Because they wanted him to teach them how to catch people like him.
Like him.
I mean, so there you go. Turned into a job opportunity. What the hell, right? Yeah, great. And a little appearance by a certain somebody named Amy Adams. Oh, yeah.
Damn.
There's a lot of people in that
There is
film.
a
So,
lot of
yeah,
people.
that's a really good choice. Really good choice. My number 5, one of my all-time RDJ films. I think maybe his best performance. I'm just going to say it. And he's had so many. I know all the Iron Man people. I know Tony Stark too, but I'm just saying my number 5, Chaplin.
Yes.
Based on, of course, Charlie Chaplin.
So epic.
Oh my God. It was so brilliant. I mean, honestly, Robert Downey Jr. just was engulfed into that role and just like literally, it was a masterpiece. Absolute masterpiece. I don't know how else to describe it. And rightfully so, Oscar. So like, it's just brilliant.
I agree.
If you haven't seen it, guys, absolutely check it out.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Agreed, man. Agreed. Well, my number 4 is a more recent one, and if you haven't checked this one out on HBO Max yet, you need to. Judas and the Black Messiah, about the life of Fred Hampton and how the FBI basically infiltrated the Black Panther Party and murdered this guy. Absolutely wild story, man. I had no idea about it until I watched this film, and then, of course, after it, you do more research and find out so much crazy things.
I mean, without doubt.
So, I mean, definitely check out this one. It's Oscar-worthy this year, and, I mean, it's being nominated for so many other things. What's-his-face just won Best Supporting Actor at the Golden Globes because of portraying Fred Hampton. So good, man. So freaking good.
Yes. It was hard to leave this one off the list for a couple of reasons. One, because it's a phenomenal movie and a phenomenal biopic. And two, it's based on a phenomenal fucking woman. So I had to do it. My number 4, On the Basis of Sex, which is, of course, the biopic about Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yes.
Brilliantly played by Felicity Jones. And just Armie Hammer was okay in it too.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Sam Waterston, my boy from Law and Order. Yeah, Sam Waterston, just brilliant in it. But honestly, this film shows her up and coming struggle to become the icon that she was in the legal world, and all the way up to the Supreme Court and the fight for equality. And it's an absolutely brilliant telling of Ruth Bader's story. And if you haven't seen it, shame on you. 1 and 2, go do it. Go do it. Go watch it. Do it. Brilliant.
So good, man. So freaking good. Well, my number 3 is Straight Outta Compton.
Yes.
That one, oh my goodness. If not, like, one of the best. It's the best musical rap biopics. Oh my goodness, guys. Like, just the portrayal of all the characters in the group was so damn good. Especially Ice Cube's son playing Ice Cube.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That was phenomenal. And then, what's-his-face, old boy there playing Eazy-E, who is basically trying to be Eazy-E right now. Yeah, he's like,
Seriously.
he just got caught with, like, guns and drugs. But, I mean, such a good movie, man. I hope they really do a sequel where it's Welcome to Death Row, and it shows the story of, like, everybody who is associated with Death Row.
Yeah, Snoop was in, and they kind of hinted at that story. So yeah, I agree with you. That'd be brilliant. And we can't leave out the fact that the master Paul Giamatti was in there.
Yeah,
I mean anything with Paul Giamatti, is good.
Agreed.
So good pick, man. Good pick. My number 3, Nicholson, and you know where I'm going with it. If I said Nicholson, right? I'm of course talking about Hoffa, which.
Duh.
Jimmy Hoffa.
Yeah.
I mean, duh. I think just an absolutely. I mean, the new Netflix movie, fine, sure, it was okay and everything, but I don't think you can get a better look at Jimmy Hoffa's life and supposed what happened to him than this film with Jack Nicholson playing Hoffa. Absolutely freaking just phenomenal performance by Nicholson. Maybe one of his best last performances as he was kind of phasing out the acting, but just absolutely insanely brilliant. If you guys haven't checked it out, do it. Fantastic film. Hoffa.
Man, so good. My number 2 is actually a tie between I mean, these two happened relatively around the same time, so it makes sense. All Eyes on Me and Notorious, of course, about Tupac and Biggie. Oh my goodness. And the guy who played Biggie actually played Biggie again in All Eyes on Me.
Yes.
But it's so good, too, because you get to see where these guys come from and how they just got engulfed in their surroundings and who was around them, and how sometimes the people around you can not be the best thing for you or your career and and your life, obviously. So so good. I mean, to see these actor portrayals, especially in All Eyes on Me. This guy wasn't an actor. They just went and found him and put him in a movie, and he's not doing acting again.
And Jesus, he was a clone
Literally.
for Tupac. This guy, you'd swear to God it was Tupac in the film. It's like, we told you he was alive.
Right.
No, but it was
It's so
brilliant
funny.
casting, man. It was absolutely it was a great film.
It
I mean, it
was.
was absolutely a great film.
It was.
All right, now I'm jumping on your Leo bandwagon here.
Yes.
But the reason I'm doing it is because anybody who knows me and has known me for a long time, I am a huge, huge fan of Howard Hughes. I just thought his story and how he did everything, and then the way it all ended, and just, the obscurity, locked in a hotel room in Vegas, and just like all the weird kind of stuff, but all the brilliant stuff that the man created with aviation and film and just so many things. I'm, of course, talking about The Aviator.
Yes.
One of my all-time favorite biopics, and I think just an absolutely brilliant adaptation and storytelling of the story of Howard Hughes. Leo was phenomenal. I mean, there was
Always is.
so many remarkable actors and actresses in that film, including Gwen Stefani. Just like so many brilliant performances. But yeah, above and beyond from Leo in that film, it's just absolutely brilliant. One of my all-time favorites for sure. The Aviator. Check it out.
Yes. And I mean, of course, you got to round it out with another Leo film, The Wolf of Wall Street, playing Jordan Belfort. Oh man, I mean, obviously, I was like itty bitty when this guy was in the heyday of his time, so I had no idea about his story until this film came out. But I mean, so crazy, just going off the basis of, sell me this pin. This guy could literally sell you anything, even if it was real or fake, which was crazy. But, I mean, yes, Leo's depiction of Jordan Belfort was fucking amazing. Should have won the Oscar. I get it, Dallas Buyers Club, whatever. But I'm in my feelings about it. And, of course, you got, what's his face there? Jonah Hill as his buddy. Those two together, Jonah Hill and Leonardo DiCaprio, are so fucking good. I mean, it's the same thing with Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill with Moneyball. But, yes, Wolf of Wall Street, Moneyball, that's an honorable mention, because that is also a great biopic with Jonah Hill and Brad Pitt.
And you top off Leo and Jonah with Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
She's also in it. So just unbelievably brilliant cast. And I agree with just brilliant movie. Absolutely brilliant movie. My number one, I'm going to show my age here, but I'm doing it anyway because if we're talking biopics, I think this one has to be at the top of the list for me. Kurt Russell's Elvis. And of course, he's playing Elvis Presley. Yeah. The only Elvis that really matters. I think this film is one of the greatest tellings of Elvis's story that I've ever seen. It starts off so dramatically with Elvis sitting in front of a television, and he's in his dressing room or whatever, and he fucking shoots the TV, just. And then it flashes back into the whole story of Elvis all the way up to the point where he's getting into this sitting in the hotel room where he shoots the TV and shit, or dressing room. It's fucking phenomenal. Kurt Russell is he becomes Elvis.
Yeah.
It's the best interpretation of looks for Elvis I've ever seen. Just from a young Elvis all the way through to the old fat Elvis, Kurt Russell nailed it. The huge props to the makeup and costumers. Yeah, this film, I think, is one of the prizes and epitome of biopics. If you haven't checked it out, look for it. It was from the 70s, but just brilliant. Just absolute Kurt Russell, Elvis.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting, too, if that new one was going to live up to it.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard. It's hard because Kurt Russell, I mean, he's still most famous for that, I think. Everybody forgets Kurt Russell was a Disney kid, and he's done shit tons of stuff after that, but I still feel like his most famous role is that fucking Elvis movie, man. It's kind of like Gary Busey with Buddy Holly. That was another honorable mention.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, fucking the Buddy Holly story with Gary Busey. Shit.
I know.
That's another one. There's so many.
See?
And those are overall music. Like, come on.
I know. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Well, now heading over to the box office recap. Tom and Jerry still helms the reins with 13.7 million. Number 2 is The Croods: A New Age with 1.2 million.
Yes.
Number 3, The Little Things, still hanging in there with 925,000. Number 4, Wonder Woman, 1984 with 710,000. And number 5, The Marksman with 700,000.
What?
I
What
know.
happened? They didn't flip-flop.
They
Wonder
didn't.
Woman stayed on top for 2 weeks in a row.
like no big-
Oh, shit. She's figured out his particular set of skills.
Exactly.
All I'm saying. Oh, look at
Exactly. New movies you can still go see are possibly in a theater near you. 400 Bullets, Raya and the Last Dragon, Chaos Walking, Sun, and Boogie.
And Coming to America, too.
Yeah, right?
That dropped also if you guys are interested in watching that. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
Who will win? You can watch that one for free on Prime, or you can pay $30 to watch Raya.
Yeah, right. Oh, God. So many crazy things. Don't even get us started.
Nope.
Movies you can possibly still go see in a theater possibly near you. Nomadland, Judas and the Black Messiah, Monster Hunter, Land, and News of the World.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, heading over to the IMDbPro Top Trending segment. Oh, man, you guys know we love this app. We use it every single day. If you're an up-and-comer trying to break into the industry, it's definitely necessary. It's on the things you need list.
Yes, it is.
Oh, man. The movie coming from Netflix, I Care a Lot, which apparently is making a lot of talks around town.
Oh, yeah.
So I got to watch this one.
Yeah, me too. TV show. No surprise, we told you about it at almost the very top of the industry news, the most popular show in the world right now, WandaVision.
Yes.
Duh.
Yeah. And then the top trending star is Eve Hewson.
Oh.
I have no idea who that is.
No, but if you had IMDb Pro, you could look it up.
It's true.
That's why you need this app. That's all we're saying.
Exactly. Well, anyway, we got to thank our guest one more time, Jason Johnson, for coming on the show. We appreciate him so damn much. As he said in the interview, no social media right now, but stay tuned.
That's right.
We'll let you know when it happens. Be sure to follow the company and podcast on social media. At Crazy Ant Media on all social media platforms, and at ItCaf Podcast on all social media platforms.
Yes.
And you guys know you can follow the company or follow us personally on social media. Myself at JLoFantastic and
Crazy Ant Guy 1970.
that's right, guys. And you guys know you can listen to this podcast anywhere you find your podcast, and also subscribe. Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Stitcher, and so much more. If you're watching the video on YouTube, hola. Oh, we appreciate you guys. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell for all the latest and greatest notifications. Anytime we drop a video, you will be notified. And of course, be sure to visit our website, www.crazyantmedia.com, where you can head over to our merchandise website and start rocking the latest and greatest Crazy Ant Media gear, because you guys know you want to look a little crazy.
That's right. And don't forget to vote for us on Podcast Magazine's Hot 50 list, guys.
Exactly.
If you love us, and you know you do, head on over there and cast your vote for us as your favorite podcast.
Exactly. And donate to our Patreon page.
That's right.
Because we have so much stuff, man. We're asking a lot, but you guys know we love you.
Of course.
And you love us. But, man, it was a great show. It was a great show.
It
A lot
really
of stuff
was.
to talk about, of course. My favorite thing was probably the Star Wars news, because she's an amazing actor and is just going to kill it in this.
Yeah.
She's going to fit perfectly in this world. And just so much other stuff. It was a really good week.
Yeah, of course, you guys know, here he comes with the superhero stuff. But it's true.
Yeah.
The WandaVision stuff, the CW, Superman and Lois stuff, of course, always gets me excited. Always, I love talking superhero stuff. And I'm with you. I think Indira is going to be fantastic in Star Wars. And our guest interview. Guys, if that doesn't inspire you and really motivate you to say, I can do this no matter what the situation is, just believe in yourself and hit it, I don't know what else would. I mean, that was so inspiring to listen to.
Exactly. And you know who else is inspiring? One of the greatest of all freaking
This
time.
weekend.
Interview drops this weekend. Be sure to stay tuned for that on CBS.
Oprah!